So, first game of the season for most of these teams. You don't want to jump to too many conclusions. I'm ready to jump. I have my knees bent. I'm swinging my arms. I'm ready to take flight. This Thunder and Nuggets game. Oh boy, I'm worried about the Nuggets. I am worried about the Denver Nuggets. And it's one thing. Your team loses on opening night, like the Kings. And there's some concerns about the Kings that kind of came to the forefront last night. But, nothing terrible. You can move on. I would even say the Spurs. Like, Spurs don't really have expectations. I didn't think they played a horrendous basketball game last night. So there's some stuff you could take away. The Nuggets, every tiny concern that you could have had about the Nuggets entering the season, all the things that you said, oh, I'm a little bit worried about this, I'm a little bit worried about this. Literally every single one of those things came to fruition last night. Every last one of them. And this was, they'll get better over the course of the season. And their starting five, when they're on the court together, still looks good. With Christian Brown in, he's got to fucking shoot threes. We'll talk about him here in a bit. But with Christian Brown in the game, still look fine. And they're going to play teams where that starting five just decimates the other team's starting five, and it doesn't really matter what happens with the bench. But we know Michael Malone, this Nuggets team, they just love all full five starter lineups, all bench lineups. I mean, they run them more than any team in the NBA by a huge, gigantic margin. It's the stupidest shit in the world to me, especially now when your bench is not deep at all. Like, why would you not stagger Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes a little bit? Where he's with the bench squad, and he's providing some spacing for that unit. And he's able to get some stuff off for himself whenever there's no Jokic or Jamal Murray out there. I'm actually starting to believe it's the on-off shit for Jokic. It sounds stupid, but I'm genuinely starting to believe that there might be a concerted effort to make sure Jokic's on-off numbers look unbelievable. I can't understand what it is otherwise. I think in the past what it was their starting five just dominated teams so badly that's let's get those five guys on the court as much as possible. They'll build a big enough lead, and our bench five could just keep us, not drown us. But now their bench group is so rough and tough to watch, and their starting five isn't as dominant anymore, that they need to be staggering these minutes better moving forward. That's just the truth. Russ was a fiasco last night. He was awful. He made some plays. I thought in the third quarter, fourth quarter, there was a few possessions in a row where he was able to get the ball going downhill, and that led to open threes for other guys. Or, I think Jamal Murray got a three off of a kick out by Russell Westbrook when he was going downhill in transition. Russ got a layup for himself. But, it was clunky as fuck. It looked terrible. It looked bad when he was on the court. He was a minus 24. Oh, God. Damn. Peyton Watson. Wow. Okay. Peyton Watson. Just going to tell you guys this. A guy who misses a three-point shot this badly is not developing into a good three-point shooter. Corner three, he airballs it by 15 feet. That thing was like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball with no arc on it that never had a chance on an open corner three. That's not a guy who's developing into a good three-point shooter, okay? I don't know. You can't see a miss like that and be like, that's a good three-point shooter, man. And Christian Brown, pulling up this clip right here, he ended up getting an assist to Jokic on this play. But, man, look, if you're in the starting five, just look at how fucked the spacing already is. They're already cool with just completely sagging off of you, Christian Brown. They're completely fine with sagging off of you. You have to shoot this shot. Wide open in the corner. You got to shoot this. He was 0 of 3 on 3. That's fine, man. You got to shoot. You have to shoot the ball. 0 of 3 from 3. And he had this play right here, which, again, ended up an assist because Jokic is just a monster and finished through 3 people. And he had another one where he was wide open in the corner for 3, a little bit hesitant, drove and did get a floater out of it. But for this to work, and when you play good teams and good defenses, and as we said at the start of the show, when you're trying to contend and compete at the highest level, the margins are so slim. They're so slim that things like Christian Braun not being able to shoot threes will tank you. So I am concerned. What was this right here? Bad Nuggets offense. Jamal Murray kick out. Russell Westbrook 3. I mean, yeah, fucking right. And just look at the spacing, right? At least Russ shot that, knowing he has to shoot it. Aaron Wiggins is like, yeah, I don't care. I'm in the paint. I'll get out to Russ. Whatever. And you have Peyton Watson in the opposite corner. And he's not getting guarded either. So the Thunder are damn near playing a 2-3 zone. Because they're just sagging so far off the corners. And Jamal Murray was horrible last night. I don't know. I don't want to he missed some shots that you would usually expect him to make. So I don't want to jump to the conclusions and be like, oh, Jamal Murray's washed. Because, I don't know, he makes a few of these tough middies. It's a completely different night for him. Physically, I thought he looked fine. He looked better than he did in the Olympics and the playoffs, at least. So they do have that going for them. But they need him to be good. Because, again, the margins are so thin, and the Thunder might be approaching this level where it's like, you got to play a very, very good basketball game to beat this team. So just this clip right here. Jamal Murray takes a very, very tough contested, one-legged fadeaway shot from the elbow over Caruso. That misses. Aaron Wiggins grabs the rebound, brings the ball up the floor. Dario Saric doesn't stop ball. Pull up 3 in transition. Just like that. 5-point swing that quickly. That's the type of stuff that happens in these games. And the Thunder, you guys get annoyed, I guess, but for me saying the Thunder team is good. They're good. They're a problem. They went 8 of 36 from 3. Mind you, on clean look after clean look after clean look. Where did Isaiah Joe go from 3? Isaiah Joe goes 1 of 6. I don't really see that happening much. J-Dub had a bad game. Just full stop in this one. 12 points on 5 of 16 shooting. And they still completely took over this game in the second half. It was an onslaught. It was an onslaught in the second half. Their defense was just smothering this Nuggets team. Chet looked incredible last night. 25 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks. The best player on the floor last night. Genuinely. Better than Shea, who had a fine game. Better than Jokic. Chet was like far and away the best player on the court. And was 0-5 from 3. So that is, if we're like poking tiny holes in the Thunder in the postseason, you're going to need Chet and J-Dub to like be better offensive players. Because a lot of the stuff you're doing offensively, when defenses really clamp down, some of it won't be there. Another interesting thing, I know, 19 minutes for Caruso. I don't know if they're going to like kind of ease him in to the rotation more. So the guy on Lockdown whose hot take was D-Live could be better than Chet. I mean, Derek Lively's a tremendous player, a tremendous basketball player. Chet is like, if it weren't for Wemby, Chet would be looked at in a very different way. I feel like. I know Caruso always plays low minutes, but I was kind of expecting more than 19. Opening night though, it's weird. Very interesting rotation stuff for them. So no Hartenstein, no Jay Will. Ousmane Dieng plays 13 minutes and did not think he was bad at all. I imagine that Ousmane Dieng is not somebody who will be in their rotation very much when those guys come back, but I thought that was interesting. Casey Wallace played 23 minutes. AJ Mitchell, their second-round rookie, got a decent amount of burn. I actually find that interesting because he's a guard. And I'm trying to think, do they have any guards out? Like, he might be in the rotation. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, Aaron Wiggins was great last night. I mean, he's a very, very good basketball player. Chet is better than Wemby right now. He was better last night, that's for sure. Topic is out. Yeah. Well, they knew Topic was out when they drafted him. He's not, like, in their rotation really at all. Slight thoughts on the Season 6 Part 2 trailer of Cobra Kai. All right, guys, welcome to the Cobra Kai segment of the podcast. The only thing I know about Cobra Kai is the cringe clips I see on TikTok. That's it. That's all I know of Cobra Kai. Chet is 2 years older than Wemby almost, though. Yeah, that's true. Season 6, Part 2. I hate the parts. The Netflix shows split their season in 2 parts. I hate that. I hate that that's become a thing. And Breaking Bad, in a lot of ways, did Breaking Bad start that? Breaking Bad's finale was a 2-parter. 2-part season. Breaking Bad responsible for this terrible, terrible trend? Is Cobra Kai... Wait. What is Cobra Kai on? Is that on Netflix? Why did I think that was a YouTube show? Why did I think that was a YouTube show? Yeah, Outer Banks has no business making a 2-part season. I kind of understand it if it's like Stranger Things. It's like, dude, it costs fucking $7 million to produce an episode of this. Like, this is a big thing. Like, it's a long time. First season was on YouTube. Okay, all right, nice. So I was right. But Outer Banks is like, dude, you could churn one of these. You could churn a season out each month if you wanted to. Like, let's get serious. Anyways, we got sidetracked. Sorry. So the Thunder look very good. The Nuggets look concerning. And the Nuggets will still win basketball games. I mean, their starting five is going to be good enough that, again, when they play teams that don't have great depth or great starting units, they'll look fine. But teams like the Thunder, teams like the Mavericks even, very deep basketball team. Teams like the Celtics, really these top-end contenders, are going to give them some problems. Some serious, serious problems. Who wins OKC or Mavs after first game? In a series? I mean, and I'm not just saying this. I need to see J-Dub and Chet prove that they can be true number 2 options in a postseason setting before I jump to too many conclusions about the Thunder. They can win 60 games this year. That's what I need to see in the playoffs before I'm like, yep, they're ready. They're ready to go. I know Luka's that guy. I know Kyrie's that guy. It's just J-Dub and Chet developing into those guys. And I do think they will eventually. And it could be this year. So anyways, I mean, is this the worst case scenario for the Nuggets? Like, opening night against the Thunder, pretty good litmus test to see where you're at. If you lose it, it's really not the end of the world. No big deal. But to get just blown out and your offense look that bad, and all of the concerns that you had coming to the forefront, I mean, that's pretty bad. So you think Denver should trade MPJ or Murray? Well, if they were to trade one of those guys, I think it would be Michael Porter Jr. And I don't know, if they're kind of struggling at the trade deadline, it's possible if they feel like they could get 2, maybe even 3 really decent depth pieces back in return. Oh, and yeah, Jokic's post-game presser was eye-opening. Christian Brown did make some plays defensively. He's a good defender. He is. And Peyton Watson had some nice defensive plays as well. Both those guys are good defensive playmakers. It's just the floor spacing causes problems, man. No, Jokic, and I'm paraphrasing here. Let me see if I can pull up the exact quote. But it was basically like, yeah, we are not a good shooting team. Here's the exact quote. We are not a good shooting team except Mike and Jamal. All of us are kind of streaky, not streaky, but just average shooters. Well, are we sure Jamal's still a good shooter? No, I'm just kidding. But actually, are we sure? No, I am just kidding. But I'm not. Are we still sure that Jamal Murray's a good shooter? But no, Jamal's a good shooter in the sense that teams have to respect him always. Same with Michael Porter Jr. Those guys will always get respect from the three-point line. Jamal Murray's still a good shooter. But if we were to go that route, and my God, this is so funny. The trade machine after night 1 of the season. But if we were to go that route, what would the MPJ market really look like? Like, what team is ready to send off real legitimate pieces from Michael Porter Jr.? I'm sure there's a few. Like, I'm not asking that rhetorically. I'm being serious. Spurs? That's actually kind of interesting. Rockets? Kyle Kuzma? Oh, Lakers. That feels like a thing the Lakers would do 100%. 100%. So anyways, let's monitor the Nuggets. You know, it's getting a little concerning. The Thunder are going to be a very good basketball team this year. The Dallas Mavericks are going to be a very good basketball team this year. Squiggly with the $2 donation. What about trading Jamal Murray? He's just too important. Like, the Jamal Murray-Jokic two-man game has to work for them to win a championship again.